So you want to tame the forest titan. Well, this is a guide for you. My name is Jay Steele, and I'm going to show you guys how to tame the forest titan to the best of my abilities. So to summon the forest titan, you're going to need the artifact of the growth, 100 corrupted hearts, 10 Tyrannosaurus arms, and 10 sauropod vertebra. I believe that is how they are pronounced. But you need all those to summon the forest titan here, and then it will spawn you in his arena. Now, once you spawn into the arena, you should have two mechs up here waiting for you beforehand. The third person will be looking for a forest wyvern. So, two people in mechs and one for a forest wyvern. The forest wyvern will be hovering above the titan to try and hold his attention, and you don't get hit or hurt by him usually. Sometimes it does happen, but the other two people in mechs will actually be targeting the forest titan to try and take care of the corruption nodes. Now, while I give a view of the forest wyvern's perspective and the person just hovering above him about this height or probably even a little bit higher to be safe, I'm going to talk about the issues that we had with this guy. Now, even though we held him in the middle for the most part using this method, he would randomly sometimes just get drawn back to the center. And when that happens, it pretty much completely ruins the taming process because the nodes heal back to full health and any damage done to him remains through the taming process. So you kind of can't let that happen. But what we did to kind of, I don't know if this was just pure luck or what happened, but we would draw him purposefully away from the center twice before we started to tame him. And we had two consistent results with that. So that's what I recommend. Before you even start trying to destroy the corruption on him, to purposefully draw him away from the center and let him get drawn back to it twice. So let's go on to actually trying to remove the corruption from him now. So things are a little bit tedious with actually removing the corruption nodes. We found it best and quickest to actually use the siege cannon module on the mech for taking the shoulders out. Now this took around 16 to 20 shots. You may want to bring a little bit more depending on how well you think you can aim with it. It's really tricky and you have to get the timings right because the shells take so long to get to him. But for us, after about 16 or 20 shots, the arms would each fall off. Now, the arms weren't necessarily the hardest part because especially since there was two of us, it was quick and easy to take care of, one person for each arm. The corruption that spawns on his chin afterwards becomes a more difficult thing to deal with, but to go over his attacks real quick, in the first phase, while he still has both of his arms, he will just put vine or roots down into the ground to try and grab you out of your mech or anything that you're in or on the ground. Um, when you knock one of his arms off, he will start trying to grab you out of your creature, mech, everything, anything, using vines from his hands, and those are really dangerous. And to dodge those, we found it best to actually just kind of jump out of your creature right after he throws the vines, and I'll show a quick demonstration here of that. So, as I just mentioned, once one of his arms falls off, he is going to go into a different phase. Now, at this point, I took the element and other things that I had on my mech, and I decided to put it on my friend's here so that he could finish shooting things off his arm. But now he tries to grab you with vines, and you have to jump out of your mech right after he starts throwing those vines to avoid those. We found that to be the best way to avoid that. And if he does grab you, try and take all your armor off as quickly as you can, otherwise it's going to get destroyed. So after I got my arm shot off and my tribe mate here got the arm that he was targeting shot off, we decided just to have one person shooting the chin at a time. That way we are not doing extra damage to the Titan himself. So what I do to try and fill the gap is jump on the forest wyvern and go around and clear the poison trees that are spawning, just to try and make it easier for my tribe mate to move around and navigate. And I also try not to set him on fire, but that does happen a couple of times. So then the fight really just goes on for quite a while like this, and it takes forever to destroy that last node, but it eventually will go here with a little bit of time. So after wasting about 50 pieces of element shooting with the tech rifle on the mech, the node will finally pop on the forest titan here, and you can run up and tame him. Now, in order to get an alpha, you have to do less than 100,000 worth of damage to him total in the tame here, and that will come out as an alpha. It's 25% if you're wondering, but that's a pretty good overview of how you tame the titan here, the forest one. It's really glitchy and hard because sometimes he just gets randomly drawn back to the center and it will ruin the taming on you. So just be prepared for frustration because we had plenty of that doing this. But if you guys found this useful or anything like that, please leave a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll try and answer as best I can. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.